G'day guys, Fat Tony here from Fat Tony Fitness. Well, it's time for a rundown of the first 12 months of my weight loss journey. There's been some sort of highs and lows, and there's been a lot of times where I just couldn't be bothered doing anything. So here we go, quick rundown, see how things went. Well, as you know, and you've probably seen from some of the previous videos, and particularly one of the first videos, the why video. Why did I start this weight loss journey? Well, it comes down to quite a number of things, but short list would be I needed to take care of my health. There's one thing I wasn't doing. I wanted to lose some weight and look better. And I wanted to sort of enjoy life, a longer life, with family and friends, and more particularly with my immediate family. Spending more time and some quality time with the kids. They are a bit older now. They're at an age now, they're both teenagers. They're at an age where you don't want to hang around your parents anymore. But, you know, if I'm fit enough and able to go and do a few things with them, yeah, all the better. All the better for hopefully my life and hopefully their life. So that they may look back when I'm no longer around and think, you know, we spent a good bit of time with Dad. So, where do I start? Well, it all started at 146 kilograms. Now, I did reach a level of weight that was higher than 150. I think my highest was about 154. But I started the videos at 146 kilograms. So I recorded from there, and my aim was to try and get down, lose 50 kilos within 50 weeks. Did I get that? No. I did okay. I thought I did all right. Anyway, it's a start. I have recognised that over that time that it's going to take a lot more than 12 months, 2 years, 3 years. I think it'll be, there shouldn't be any problems getting down to my goal weight within 2 years, and maybe the third year will be that time where I probably put a bit of weight on, building some muscle and looking better, looking leaner, actually not looking like a fat slob anymore. So I'll give it 3 years. But first year, I've done okay. We started at the 146, and there's been a few changes. So the first thing I noticed myself was clothing. I started my shorts that I wear for work. They were 117 centimeters for the waist, and over time I've slowly gone down in size. I could squeeze into 112s, but 117 was a comfortable pair of shorts. Now, my recent purchase is I'm down to 102 centimeters. So it's a 15 centimeter drop, and those shorts don't fall off me anymore, but I think I could go down to the next size, which would be a 97. So I'm actually going to buy a pair of those and see if I fit into them. But I think I will. I don't think there's going to be any problem there. So that's a fair thing that I've noticed. I've noticed that shirts fall a little bit differently. I have got all big shirts. I have got a couple of shirts that I've been able to wear now that were too tight, and basically when you're wearing them it makes you look like I don't know, like butchers put too much meat into a sausage. So it's not a good look. So I've stuck with the bigger stuff, but I am now getting into some smaller shirts and actually looking a little bit better in some of my old shirts. Things that other people have noticed in me, because I'm looking at myself every day, I'm weighing myself every day, but the good thing is when you bump into someone you haven't seen for a few weeks or a couple of months, and they notice a change. A lot of people first notice the change in the face. The face has sort of gone skinnier, dropped down. Other people have noticed the stomach's dropped a little bit. I've still got a gut sticking out, which is the next thing on the plan, but I have noticed that it's fallen. A lot of the visceral fat, the hard, sort of bloated look has gone, and I've still got a lot of skin and everything, but it's dropped. It's hard to describe, but there is a change. Okay, highs for me have been basically following the scales. So getting out and walking, doing the exercise, weight training, and seeing the results from that. So every morning I weigh myself. A lot of people don't suggest that because it may upset you, but for me, whether it's high or low, I like to know where I'm tracking. I don't want to all of a sudden be putting some weight on, not weigh in for a week, and it's been a significant rise in increase in weight, and then you got to lose it again. So I like to know sort of day by day how I'm going. But the highest for me being just tracking that and seeing the scales every morning. Excellent. I've lost another half a kilo. I've lost so many hundreds of grams, whatever. You know, it's going down. That's good. The other thing is the change in clothes sizes. That's been a high as well. The lows, same again with the scales, is when I put a bit of weight on. Putting weight on mainly when I don't understand why the weight's gone on, and over time I can sort of figure a few things out depending on what I may have eaten. If I eat a lot of bread, that does it for me, and a lot of junk food and stuff, the weight sort of immediately goes back on. Being able to differentiate between an increase because of poor eating, then water weight, having a lot of water intake, a lot of salt intake, which will hold a lot of water in the body, and the use of creatine as well. So being able to sort of tell that eases those lows. So it has, so it's bad, but it's not too bad. The other low, which you saw from the previous video, was basically getting through pretty much most of the year, losing some weight, and I thought I was doing really well, but not being able to go on some of the rides, or any of the rides basically, up at Dream World and Movie World and SeaWorld. So yes, I've seen some changes, but not enough to get out there and do the things that I wanted to do and really look forward to doing. I've lost more weight since then. Haven't been back up there yet, but will do. And if I can get on that roller coaster, I'll be a happy boy. And it's coming. It's coming. We'll get there. The other low is, of course, is a weight loss plateau. Not understanding why. You're doing the same thing. You think you're doing the right thing. Calorie deficits, exercising, and then the weight loss just stops. It just plateaus, just nothing, nada. Why? No idea. Decide to change a few things up. Eventually, kicks in again. You lose more weight. Difficult to understand. Comes down to a few things, I think. We'll do another video on that in the future. But it gets you down for a while. You just got to try and overcome that and just keep going through it, which I have. Okay, a few things I wish I knew before I started. One, it's going to be hard. Now that sounds a bit stupid because it's pretty obvious. Yes, it's not going to be easy losing weight. Spent 30 years putting it on, eating crap, not exercising. But it's probably more, not that I thought it was going to be easy losing the weight, but it was more to do with the complexity of losing the weight. It's not a matter of just having a calorie deficit and exercising. getting on the treadmill or getting on an exercise bike and just burning the calories. There's a bit more to it. Would have been better to be a little bit more prepared and to have a structure and some sort of an outline of what I was going to be doing every day or every week, so how I was going to approach it. So not only the calorie deficit, but eating better, eating healthy food, choosing better exercises, so walking, some strength training, and seeing what other things can help. So things to expect: weight loss plateaus. What do I do, okay, when this comes up, and be prepared for it? Help of, my local GP, my doctor, and any advice that I can get from anyone else around me that's actually gone through the same thing. So that would have been good to know. Next is diet. Diet's important. It's one thing that I didn't really think about was the diet. I knew, okay, I've got to eat less, calorie deficits and so on. It makes sense. Got to eat less junk food. But I didn't really understand the importance of the diet, as in things to eat. I didn't understand. I have seen it before, and people talked about it, that the diet is more important than the exercise. And they say 80% of weight loss is diet, 20% is the exercise. Maybe I just didn't want to believe it. I'm not a very good eater myself. I don't eat a very big variety of foods, and definitely not healthy foods. But I have come to understand that diet is important, and you shouldn't diet and lose weight to get healthy. You should be getting healthy to lose weight. So you need to eat better, good quality food, whole foods, get rid of the processed foods. Anything that comes in a box is not good for you, even though it's good. Like, I love it. Bread. There's a bit of debate on grains and oils and seed oils and stuff, but in my experience, bread's not good for me. Puts the weight on. I get bloated. I get inflammation. So diet, very important. Wish I knew that and understood that before I started. Sleep. Now, being a tradie and on the tools, and now more management, still get up early, late nights, doing paperwork. Didn't realise the importance of the sleep. Need to have some good quality sleep. Especially exercising through the day. You're fatigued anyway. You're fatigued from work. You're staring at a computer screen, or you're actually doing some manual labour for the day. It's quite taxing, and you need to sleep. I didn't understand the direct correlation between quality of sleep and weight loss. I did come to find out through the year, and actually noticed the results on the scales. If I had bad sleep, I wouldn't lose the weight. If I did everything else right and I had good quality sleep, the same regular pattern of sleep through the week, I would lose some good weight losses through that week. So I wish I had known that earlier. I think I fluked it at the start, and sort of going through that plateau. I think that's something that really explains, why I wasn't losing the weight. And when I finally understood that, it sort of all come together. Lastly, the other thing I wish I sort of realised was family. Now, I sort of took this on myself. The missus and I have sort of basically sabotaged each other through the years. She wanted to lose weight, I'd bring junk home. I thought about maybe losing weight. She'd go off the wagon, and basically I was the worst. I'm the saboteur. I've done wrong by myself, and I've done wrong by her by just always bringing junk food in and just, being lazy. But understanding that it's important that everyone around you is supportive, which they are, and they were for the whole thing, but that they're also on board. So you all need to come together and get rid of the junk food out of the house. If they're all eating junk food, you're going to want to eat junk food. So once everyone was on board that, you know, I was losing weight, I was getting a bit healthier. My youngest started coming out to the gym and training with me. The missus got on board. She's seen some results on me, and she's decided, yep, it's time. I'm going to give it a go. And you know, she's seen the doctor and come up with a plan of how she's going to lose the weight, and getting very good results, might I say. And now my oldest is the same again. We're sort of all coming together now as a family to eat better, prepare meals together, better meals, so that ready to eat meals as well through the week, so that you're not heading down to McDonald's or KFC for a feed. You're grabbing you know, one of our healthy burritos, or you know, pre-cooked chicken meals and so on. You know, heaps better. You know, because we're all together. So that's one thing that would have been nice to really understand at the start. Okay, so where do we actually get for the year? Well, we started off 146 kilos. Was higher than that, but at the commencement of the first videos, I just recorded it at 146 kilos. So by the time we got through to November, so 11 months in, I had lost 19 kilos in total. That's down to 127 kilos. Pretty good. I'm happy with that. Following the roller coaster incident, I did put a little bit of weight back on. So at the time of my birthday, when I turned 50, I was 130 and a half kilos. So official weight loss that's 15 and a half kilos. Disappointed that it went the other way, but you know, I was a bit down on myself there for a bit, but not too bad. So I knew I could get back down to that 19 kilo stage, but you know, 15, 16 kilos, not a bad loss for the year. It's all right. I think I could do better, and I have done better since. You know, I've got some different plans. I'm approaching the next 12 months a little bit differently. Try and be a little bit more focused, and try a few other strategies. So those highlights will be in the next video, so keep watching for that. But that's pretty much for the year. So 12 months, 16 kilos down, pretty good. Pretty easy, yeah, but it's a win. Better than putting the 16 kilos on. And on my average, I probably would have been, I reckon, 160 odd by now if I hadn't done anything. So it's getting pretty good. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone that reaches out, makes a comment, especially a positive comment. So I really do appreciate your time. Please keep watching. We're getting back into it. There's a lot more videos to come, and there's a lot more content that we're going to share on our website. So stay tuned for that. Again, thank you. Get out there, live life, love it. I'll catch you later.